Hi, this is Dr. Todd Kays, mental coach, coming to you on behalf of the golf room. Obviously, I'm not in the golf room right now because of the various world we're living in right now, but wanted to deliver some continued messages about our golf games. And the topic I want to talk about today is intuition. Now, one of the great things about golf is that the advancements have been so great in terms of technology, in terms of equipment, in terms of lessons, in terms of fitness, in terms of mental training. There's been a lot of wonderful, wonderful things. Now, the drawback, however, has been what I've seen is that golfers are thinking too much. They're overthinking, they're overanalyzing, okay? And that's what gets in their way. That's what prevents them from being a player as opposed to a technician. Okay, that's what prevents them from performing below their skill level. So, one of the things that I think golfers miss and that I want to really emphasize more of is intuition, our gut, our instincts. But sometimes we're caught so much in our heads that we forget. We completely forget about our instincts. We completely forget about our intuition. And that's where the answer lies. So you might be in the middle of the fairway at a shot, and you're thinking distance, wind, all that sort of important information. But then when it comes to you over the ball, you might be thinking more about swing mechanics. You might be thinking about outcome. You might be thinking about, is this the right shot? As opposed to just kind of taking a bigger picture, looking at the target, looking at, let's say, the green, if it's a par 4, and just trusting your gut. Gathering the information, the distance, the wind, all that sort of stuff, but then trusting your intuition. What does your intuition tell you? Okay, and I just think we miss that. We miss that piece partly because of the way golf technology and the way golf has advanced, but partly because that's the way our society is. We are taught to be kind of in our left brain. We are taught to analyze. We're taught to overanalyze. We spend most of our days analyzing, thinking. We're not taught to trust our instincts, our hearts. Okay? There's a lot of information in our hearts. But I don't think we're used to going there. We're used to going into our heads. But I think that gets in the way of performing to your skill level. That gets in the way of you being a player. And ultimately, if you want to play better golf, and ultimately if you want to make it to the tour, if you want to make it to the mini tour, if you want to make it to the college level, you're going to need to incorporate your intuition, your gut instinct, your heart. And so I think sometimes, one of the things that I find myself doing more and more with golfers, and will continue to do more, is heart training. And I don't mean biologically the beating of the heart. I'm talking about the emotional experience. Trusting your emotions, trusting your heart, because that's where the emotions typically lie. Your body, not in your head. Now again, you need all the information. You need to use your left brain. You need proper fitness. You need proper swing coach. You need proper mental training. You've got to discipline yourself to do all those things. But it's also learning to incorporate and use and practice trusting your intuition. Because a lot of times you can make the shots if you just get out of your own way. And I'm sure you've heard that before. So, some of the ways that you can practice intuition. Okay, one is that at the end of your practice, be intentional about using your intuition and simply make sure you're playing shots, you're performing, whether that be on the putting green, chipping green, whether it be just hitting certain shots. See the ball, see the target, hit it. Okay, that's where you're just trusting your gut. That's a way to practice going into your intuition, going into your heart, going into your gut instinct. Okay. The other way to practice is simply being intentional before you go out and play. You know, whether it be a tournament, I know we're not playing tournaments right now, but certainly when you do go out and play, is being intentional, saying that I am going to, look at my intuition. I am going to trust my intuition. I'm going to use my heart more than I'm going to use my head today. Okay? And what I call, if you've worked with me before, a process score. Okay? At the end of every hole, you can count how many shots did you trust your intuition? Did you use your intuition as opposed to be in your head, as opposed to being mechanical, as opposed to analyzing, overthinking? And obviously, give yourself a point for every shot on that hole that you use your intuition. Okay? So those are two very simple ways that you can practice intuition. And once you do that, if you do it over and over again, it's going to become part of your subconscious. And just know that 95% of the time you're on the golf course, you're in your subconscious. Okay? So this has to take practice, because 95% of probably your day, we're being bombarded and we're being taught to be in our left brain. We're being taught to analyze and to overthink. Okay? And that's not where great play comes from necessarily. And so we've got to practice it and just get better at it and make that part of your subconscious, so that your intuition is not ignored, because that can make the difference between a good player and a great player. This is Dr. Todd Case, mental coach from the golf room. I'll see you next time.